you have every right to be angry. Let's talk about that. Hi, welcome back. It's Chelsea Vlogs, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about the reason why you should allow yourself to be angry. So, why do I want to bring up that topic? Because we as humans have so many emotions. So many emotions. I'm not saying that everyone is exactly the same. What I am saying though is that some people, mostly men and some women, tend to bottle up their emotions because of some form of trauma or something that they convince themselves of, right? Because I'm saying this from experience, right? I used to call myself cold-hearted for a while. And the reason why I said that was because I didn't know how to express my emotions, right? But I never allowed myself to feel these emotions because I felt like other people were judging me for it. And honestly, they were judging me for it. And, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like my attitude now. Yes, and you shouldn't really care about what other people think. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's always gonna be night. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. But at the end of the day, it's your life. You're the one living it. You're the one controlling it, right? You're the only one that can give yourself joy. You're the only one that knows what you've been through and what you felt. So it shouldn't really matter what other people think, right? To try to give you an example, right? Let's say you've been dating a person for about 5 years, right? And this person randomly, you started feeling some type of way, like they were cheating on you, and then they randomly, like, well, not randomly, but they ended up actually cheating on you, and you found out through your own sources, right? This person didn't tell you. You would be angry, right? You would be pissed off. You would be livid because you would probably be like, I trusted you. Like, and probably at this point, maybe most likely you would be thinking like, oh, like I thought we were gonna get married. Like I really thought this was gonna be us forever, our future. And you find out you cheated and you didn't even think of telling me you cheated. And worst of all, why would you even cheat in the first place? You know? And you're going through all these emotions, right? And let's say that you're talking to your family members and you're talking to your friends, and then you're not really allowing yourself to feel these things because your family is saying like, well, you know, he's such a good guy, I think you should give him a second chance. And then your friends are saying like, oh, he's a jerk, I always knew he was a jerk, blah 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 blah. And this is the thing, right? They're both saying completely different things, but you know what you should be thinking about? What do you feel, right? So let's put it in this perspective, because this is what I thought about with my last breakup, right? You have you have so many different emotions at one time, right? So you could at some moment say like, oh, like I love this person. Like I really thought that we were gonna be together, and you could think about the beautiful moments that you had together. And you could probably start feeling sad after that, right? You start feeling happy, right? Because you're thinking about, oh, like we were so happy and I just thought he was the one, and or she was the one, and laze. And then after a certain time of thinking these things, you start getting sad because you're like, but look now, like I don't know, like I can't believe they did this to me. I really thought this was gonna be a forever thing, or you know, whatever you think, right? And then after that you start getting angry, you know, you're like, but I can't believe this person. Like I really thought we would be together forever, and why would you cheat on me? Like what, how do I deserve you cheating on me, first of all? And apart from that, why would you at any point think that it's okay to not tell me that you're not happy in the relationship, and then choose to cheat and then not tell me that you cheated, you know? Because maybe for some people, let's say, you know, because I know this is a reality, but for some people, at least if you would have told me, I would have at least talked about it with you, and we could have figured out the problem, and then we could have still been together. Or for some people, you know, if you would have talked about it beforehand, there wouldn't have needed to be any cheating. You know, we could have fixed it, you know? And so all these thoughts as a woman or as an emotional person, right, as a human, can go through your head. You're thinking of all these what ifs, all these resolutions that could have been. And so that makes you angry, right? And let's say, for example, apart from you feeling these things, right, but not telling other people because, like I just said, your family's saying one thing and then your friends are saying another thing, and it just confuses you. And I honestly feel like this is why it's so important to, apart from having a support system, right, not allow other people's ideas of you living your life or advice really form who you want to be or what you want to do. Why? Because most of the time, even though it sounds like a good idea what they're telling you, 9 times out of 10, if I'm being honest, it's not the best idea. It's not the best advice. And the reason you think it's a good idea, it's because either you think that they know more than you because they're older than you, or because they have been in more relationships, or any made up reason that you make up in your mind, or just because you think, well, if I allow someone to tell me what to do, it'll make me feel less involved in my decision making, so I'll feel less guilty with the outcome, right? Again, I'm telling you this from experience, because there were some moments where I have wanted someone to make the decisions for me because I don't want to be the one that's at fault whenever something happens like that I don't want to happen, so I am guilty of wanting that sometimes. Now, do I end up doing that? No, because most of the time I don't ask people for advice. Because why? Because I know that I rather ask myself for advice. I know that I'm the only person that understands what I think, what I'm going through, and all these things, right? And I've also realized that 9 times out of 10, again, like I said, most people aren't giving the best advice out there. I'd always say listen to your own intuition and your own guiding voice. And in my opinion, like, I've learned enough to be able to give advice, but I always tell people, like, at the end of the day, it's your choice, right? The whole point of me going on this rant, though, is that it's okay to feel your emotions, but specifically anger. Allow yourself to feel anger. Why? Because if you get that anger, right, and you just stuff it deep inside of your heart, of your chest, and you don't release it, there's going to be a moment where you explode, where you will implode with emotion, and you will do things that you may feel guilty, ashamed, or that you regret. You have every right to be angry. And let me give you an example, right? Let's say you're at work and your boss is telling you to do a certain thing over and over again, and you already know how to do that thing, but he just keeps repeating over and over and over and over how to do your job, and you're kind of getting annoyed because it's like, okay, like, just let me do it. I know how to do it. You don't need to tell me over and over again. And for example, right, then let's tell you that a coworker comes and tells you, oh yeah, go do this thing, and they tell you to do the exact same thing or something different, and they repeat themselves over and over again, and now you're getting even more pent up anger, right? And then you go home, and then your parents tell you, hey, go do this, I already told you to go do this, blah 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 blah, right? Even more pent up anger. And let's say that now you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a friend who tells you, hey, I thought we were gonna go do this and this and that, and now you're getting more pent up emotion, right? And then now the next day you go to work, and then another problem, you have a customer that tells you something, and then boom, that's the moment that you explode, because this is a stranger, right? So the consequences aren't as bad as if it was a family member, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, right? Yeah. And it's very, very possible. And a lot of people tend to get all their emotions and, put them inside their chest until they meet a stranger. Why? Because this is the way humans think. With a stranger, there is no consequences. I got you there, right? I got you there. At least in my opinion, I'm going to give you some advice, right? It's something I would do. Because in my opinion, this is very likely to happen. I have seen it happen, even like with working and seeing customers. They literally bring their problems to a place where they don't know anyone else, because maybe they can't, or they don't allow themselves to feel these emotions with people that they know or with themselves, right? So, my experience, I would sometimes get angry at work. And one of the things that I would do is that right after I would get angry, whenever I did have the ability, like availability to, right? When I would get angry, I would grab a piece of paper, I would grab a red pen, and I would just write. And then after all that, I would tear it up as much as I could and then throw it away. And 9 times out of 10, I would feel 1,000 times better. There would be some times where I still felt a little icky, a little upset, but at least I was able to release most of these emotions. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you don't allow yourself to feel your emotions on a daily basis, you should at least at some point in time before you explode, release these emotions in some way or form. What I'm not going to recommend anyone to do is to use any alcohol or drugs for that, because you will become dependent really quickly. I know you think you have control, but in reality you really don't, and it's really, really easy to become addicted to doing something that it's not healthy for you. So yeah, that's my advice. Take it or leave it. But the important message here is you are allowed to feel your emotions, but most of all, you are allowed to feel angry. And don't let anybody else tell you or make you feel judged for feeling your own emotions, because you don't live the same life they do. Okay? So they cannot possibly understand what you're feeling right now. And again, my advice also as well for people around you, try to only keep people around you that are going to be open to not only you always evolving, right? But accepting you as you are and not judging you for what you're not or for what they expect you to be. You are a human. You are gonna make mistakes. So you shouldn't be expected to be perfect. Okay, see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.